Hey everyone, welcome back to Retirees Benefits. I've got some big breaking news to share today, and trust me, this is one update you do not want to miss. President Trump has just delivered a major announcement, and it directly affects millions of Americans who rely on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. This update officially kicks in on October 1st, 2025, which means it's happening right around the corner. What I'm going to do here is break down exactly what was said, what it means for your benefits, and how you should prepare. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. We've heard announcements before. Is this just more political noise? Honestly, I get it. But this one is different because it ties directly into your payment schedule, eligibility checks, and even a proposed boost to benefits. According to the White House press briefing, this executive action is being rolled out under what they're calling the Social Security Stability Modernization Plan. It's happening in 3 major phases, beginning October 1st. Let's start with the part everyone wants to hear first, the money. For retirees and those on SSDI, October 1st brings the first round of payment recalculations. That means if you're currently receiving monthly benefits, you may see a small but noticeable increase. The administration is calling this a temporary inflation offset. The exact amount will vary depending on your income and household size, but most retirees can expect somewhere between $40 and $120 more per month. This is not the full cost of living adjustment, COLA, that comes in January. Instead, it's a bridge payment to help cover rising food, housing, and utility costs through the end of the year. SSI recipients aren't left out either. In fact, households receiving SSI will get a one-time October cost supplement averaging about $300 per household. So right away, October isn't just about piantan, lacy, or paperwork. It's about extra money in your pocket. And let's be honest, in times like these, even a few $100s can make a real difference. But not everything in this announcement is good news, or at least not without some challenges. Starting October 1st, the Social Security Administration is rolling out real-time income verification. In simple terms, this means if you or your spouse earn wages while collecting SSI or SSDI, that information will be shared with SSA immediately. Under the old system, people sometimes failed to report income until much later, and SSA would catch it during an annual review. Now, with new IRS and payroll data sharing systems, SSA will know the moment your employer submits a paycheck. For honest recipients, this could actually be a blessing. It prevents overpayments that often lead to stressful letters demanding repayment months later. But it also means there is zero wiggle room if you forget to report income changes. One mistake, one delay, and it could cause a temporary suspension in your benefits. That's why staying organized and on top of your reporting is going to be more important than ever. The third major piece of this announcement involves eligibility and medical reviews. If you're on SSDI or SSI, expect more frequent reviews. Children receiving SSI will now undergo annual medical reviews instead of every 2 to 3 years. Adults under age 50 who receive disability benefits will also face reviews every 12 months instead of every 3 years. And starting in January 2026, all SSI recipients will need to re-verify housing, rent, and household members annually. If you miss a deadline, payments could be suspended until you provide the documentation. I know this sounds intimidating, and for many families, it will feel overwhelming. But the administration says these measures are about protecting the system long-term and ensuring that funds are going to those who truly need them. They also argue that by tightening eligibility, they can redirect resources to strengthen retirement benefits for seniors. Whether you agree with that approach or not, it's clear these changes are going to touch a lot of households. So who actually comes out ahead here? Retirees on regular Social Security are the most secure group. They'll get the October inflation offset with minimal disruption. SSI households will see that $300 cost supplement. Disabled workers are also expected to benefit from faster processing times. SSA has promised that with new technology upgrades, disability claim wait times will be cut in half by summer 2026. Let me pause and share a quick case story from a viewer named Linda in Ohio. She's been waiting nearly 14 months for a case review on her SSDI claim and has been living in constant fear of losing her benefits. Under the new modernization plan, cases like hers are expected to be resolved in under 6 months. For Linda, that's not just a statistic, it's peace of mind. And for millions of others, this could mean less stress and faster help when you need it most. Now let's talk about what you should be doing right now to prepare. First, organize your records. Keep every letter, every pay stub, and every medical report in one place, whether it's in a folder or digitally stored on your computer. Second, report any changes immediately. If your income, housing, or medical condition changes, don't wait. Notify SSA within 30 days. Third, set reminders for yourself. Mark October 1st and January 1st on your calendar because those are going to be key dates. And finally, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Disability attorneys and local advocacy groups can walk you through this process if you're feeling overwhelmed. Of course, we can't ignore the politics of all this. President Trump is framing this as a way to protect seniors while cracking down on fraud and waste. Critics, however, argue that the new rules could make life harder for low-income families with disabilities who now face more frequent paperwork and stricter oversight. And here's something important to watch. Democrats in Congress are already pushing for an amendment to turn the October inflation offset into a permanent $200 monthly raise. That debate is likely to heat up as we move closer to the 2026 budget negotiations. Despite the challenges, there are some very real positives in the details of this announcement. The Social Security Administration is receiving $500 million to upgrade its computer systems, which should mean fewer lost applications and shorter wait times when you call. The trial work period for disabled workers is being expanded from 9 months to 12 months, giving people more breathing room to test out part-time work without immediately losing benefits. And certain severe conditions like ALS or advanced kidney disease will now be placed on a fast-track list, meaning applications will be approved within 30 days instead of several months. I know this is a lot to take in, and I also know that for some of you, these changes feel like one more burden to carry. But remember, these updates don't mean your benefits vanish overnight. They mean the system is tightening up, with both challenges and opportunities. The best thing you can do is stay informed, stay organized, and never ignore letters from SSA. Social Security is a social insurance program created in 1935 when President Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act into law. Americans pay taxes toward the financial safety net throughout their working years, which later benefits them as monthly payments to support their retirement. In addition to retirement benefits, Social Security was created to financially support Americans with disabilities and families in which a spouse or parent has died. Social Security checks are distributed according to a schedule, with beneficiary payment dates based on birthdays. Americans born on the 1st through 10th of their birth month get paid on the second Wednesday of each month. Those with birthdays on the 11th through the 20th receive their checks on the third Wednesday of each month. The last range of birthdays is from the 21st through the 31st of the birth month. These Americans are paid their Social Security benefits on the fourth Wednesday of each month. Meanwhile, millions of Americans are retiring later than past generations as the final step of a decades-old law affecting Social Security's retirement age takes effect. The legislation from over 40 years ago is slashing Americans' checks and forcing them to delay their retirement as the full retirement age rises to its highest level yet. The full retirement age, or FRA, is the age at which Americans can retire with access to their full Social Security benefits without a financial penalty. The FRA is now reaching its highest level because Congress passed amendments back in 1983 that gradually increased it from 65 to 67, with the increase slowly phased in based on birth year. Americans born in 1960 turning 65 this year are the first group that must wait until 67 for full benefits, though they can still file as early as 62 with reduced payments. The retirement age change is already in the law and is fully baked into how the SSA calculates benefits today, meaning that the millions of impacted Americans will have to work even longer until they can collect their payments without penalty. The switch up to the FRA was made to adjust for longer life expectancies and to address concerns regarding the financial solvency problems of the Social Security program. Its two main trust funds are expected to run out of their reserves in under 10 years due to the increasing life expectancies and retirement periods. So, to wrap things up, October 1st brings extra money for many recipients. It also marks the rollout of real-time income verification and the beginning of new eligibility review rules. Whether you see these changes as helpful or harmful, one thing is certain: they are coming fast, and we'll be tracking every development here on this channel. If this video helped you understand what's going on, please hit that subscribe button and share it with a friend who's on Social Security. The more people who understand these changes, the better prepared we'll all be. And don't forget to check out my last video on appealing SSA decisions, because that information could become more important than ever in the months ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, knowledge is power, especially when times are tough. I'll see you in the next update.